That was odd.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Haven't talked to you in ages.
I know. It seems like forever.
Yeah. What was were you I got some strange comment about Greg is in the waiting room.
When? Just this morning?
Yeah, just right now. So I had to
Well, I clicked and it said the first message came up, said wait till your host opens the meeting.
Okay.
But it was only there for like literally a fraction of a second.
Okay.
So I guess I was just quicker than you clicking.
You were. So I hear the weekend was fabulous.
Yeah, it was awesome. Especially Saturday. Saturday was like the perfect day. It was like I spent a lot of time, I guess, Thursday and Friday just listening and reading stuff from my course.
Mm-hmm. Was it good?
Yeah, it just got me into this very zen kind of peaceful zone. Jamie would call it clarity.
Yeah.
But then Saturday we left at like 8:30 in the morning to go to the beach up at conservation area. Spent the morning there till about 12:30.
Mm-hmm.
Came home, had some lunch, had a 45-minute nap, and then I went golfing at 3:30 and played like the best round of golf I played in many, many years. Just because I was just like so calm and relaxed and not, I don't know, I was just playing. I wasn't even thinking about it. I was one over par after 7 holes.
That's cool.
Which is like amazing.
Wow.
And like I was sinking like 30-foot putts, and I don't know. The guys I was with was because I shot 107 the last time I played with these guys a few weeks ago, and I shot 86 this time, so 21 shots better on it. So, well, I mean, it's about 20% better. So you can imagine, like, they're like, what the hell's happening? Who are you?
And you're like, yeah.
So it was great. And the good thing with COVID is like they spread out the groups on the course more, so you're not waiting at all. Everyone gets their own cart, so you're just like, you're not following your partner around to wherever they hit their ball. You're just going to your own ball and hitting your own ball. But we played 18 holes in like 4 hours. It was great.
That's fast?
That's fast.
Okay.
Like it's not unheard of for 18 holes to take on a well-run course. You're looking at a little over 5 hours, maybe.
It's a whole day.
Yeah. But if you're on a public course pre-COVID, you're looking at 6 hours to play 18 holes. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. Who would want to like waste a day on just, okay, sorry. I do not understand the game.
Well,
I do not
I'd say some people do it because they love playing golf. Other people do it because they love being away from whatever else they have to do for a whole day.
I was just going to go there.
So anyway, it was great. And then came home, and what did we do? I guess we watched a movie or something. Anyway, it was just like
it's a perfect weekend.
A perfect day of like not really thinking about anything or doing anything, just enjoying, like living in the current moment all day. It was great. Yeah,
for me, Thursday being July 1st kind of screwed everything up, because I thought, like, in my head, it's like, okay, this is Saturday, tomorrow's Sunday. Oh no, tomorrow's Friday. Okay, tomorrow's Friday. I had to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Saturday. Okay, so I'm not talking to Greg, so it must be the weekend. Okay, so it's the weekend, but I haven't talked to Greg yesterday, so today's Sunday. And this like mind fuck was going on all weekend. Yesterday, it got to the point where, so on Sunday, my Misha plays little kickers on the field.
Okay.
And we got up. It's like, oh yeah, today's going to be a perfect day. We're going to go for a bike ride. I got this new bike rack from a friend, so we can load up all of the bikes and we can go. And we're almost getting ready to go. And all of a sudden, my mom says, so when's your soccer starting? And we say, oh, what? Oh man. So we almost left. And this was, yeah, so that was kind of, but I think in the grand scheme of things, that's excellent when you lose track of time.
Yeah. Well, I felt the same way. Like, every Friday felt like Sunday, Saturday felt like Sunday, and of course yesterday felt like Sunday. But it
was actually Sunday.
yeah, it was the longest 4-day weekend I can remember. Like it just seemed to last forever, and the weather was amazing. Even though the forecast kept saying, "Oh, it's rain," like
you know what? That
can't believe the forecast at all.
I've been raging against the forecast because the forecast for the last 2 weeks was just from that Monday when they were calling for rain, it never rained, and I canceled my camp.
Yeah.
From that point on, just can't get it right. And and people will say, "Well, I mean, GTA is such a big area. Yeah. I wish I could use that excuse at work. Yeah, Excel is such a big spreadsheet. You know what? A mistake here might be just happenstance."
Yeah. The best predictor of the weather is just look out your window.
Yeah.
Anyway, but it was good.
But
and I did do some work. Like I did a lot of, like I said, reading and listening in my course. And I did a few. I redid some of my website yesterday.
See.
Still a work in progress, but
coaching, leadership, online courses. Oh, I like the white. I like the cleanliness. Story time.
I've been everything below that. I got to revamp out all looks. I just added that on the top.
I like the way it looks on the top.
So
that's a nice avatar view. Coaching, leadership, online courses. Perfect. That looks very good. Well done. My library. What's in my library? I need to log in. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that's if you buy course. That's where you go to get your access.
Log. Oh, wow. This guy has nothing better to do than shoot videos. Oh, boy. My friend.
Anyway, what else? I had a coaching call yesterday morning, 8 o'clock, with a guy in the UK. It was just he was on our weekend course a couple weekends ago, and I just reached out to him. I was interested that he was having some issues, so I just wanted to check in with him, see how he was doing, and we had a great conversation yesterday. So that was cool. I've got 2 interviews today for the Clarity app. So final 2 interviews. I guess on Wednesday after we met, I had an interview with the lady that gave me the worst scores out of all the scores I've received so far. And it was funny because it totally proves the reason why you need to actually interview people, because she actually loves the app.
What?
But she said she's taking Jamie's courses like multiple times.
Yep.
So basically her rating of the app and the content was more of a comment about the app in its current state with the current content that it has isn't really of any use to her, because it's just a small amount of content. She's covered that content multiple times. But if it had broader content and new content being added and all the rest of it, then she'd be a 10 out of 10 instead of a 5 out of 10. So
yeah, that's really odd how you're right. You have to talk to people, but it's also very interesting how people perceive what's being asked of them.
Yeah. Exactly. So anyway, it was that was encouraging. So anyway, everyone I've talked to so far is very positive about the whole thing. So I think that should bode well in terms of communicating back to Jamie what everyone's feedback is.
Yeah, that's.
But again, most people too, they have.
That's sorry. That's I have to say that is a bit bizarre. You give a 5 out of 10. You give a 5 out of 10 for a beta test of an app, and your score is based. So the score is low based on the quality of content.
Yeah. Well, so the first question was, did you find the app useful? and she gave it an indifferent. So that one, I guess, is a 3 out of 5. Same thing, 5 out of 10, 3 out of 5, indifferent. But again, the commentary around that is, well, she's indifferent because it wasn't useful because the content, the sample content wasn't useful. So she's being very literal about what's in it. And then what did she liked whatever the scripts or whatever what she would add to it. She wants to be able to add her own content as well, like her own audios or whatever. So that was kind of interesting. When she said that, I talked to her about the possibility of having an app for her own practice that was branded with her, whatever her coaching slogan was or her logo and stuff. And she seemed interested in that, which is kind of a good thing. I mean, we didn't talk about what that meant in terms of financials or anything. They all have kind of the idea of like some level of the app for free and then paying for additional content. And then on the, would she recommend the app? Again, she gave it a 5 because she said, well, and she said, I wouldn't pay for it, but it was like, I wouldn't pay for it in its current, the way it currently sits, because it's of no use to me because of the content is nothing new. But he has another program, which I knew about, but I didn't really know what it was, called Clarity Pro, which is basically, she showed it to me. It looks like it's unlimited access to all of his content. So it's a Kajabi site and it just has all like tons of programs in there. Like she's scrolling like pages and pages of basically courses. But again, it's not laser focused. Everyone loves the idea, the concept in the app of the being able to laser focus on specific things. So, anyway, so this week I'm going to wrap up these 2 interviews today, and then spend a few days this week building out a presentation of some kind. Nothing too crazy, but and then try to schedule a meeting with Jamie. And then we'll see where it goes from there.
Interesting. That's it will be interesting what he has to say.
So the way I'm thinking about it, that I don't know, I suspect he has a fall Thriving Coaches Blueprint course, because the one I was on was the spring course. So I'm just assuming, based on the fact they're calling that the spring course, that there's going to be a fall course. So I'm thinking I might propose to do something with that fall course. As more of a, I don't know, not really a beta test so much as like a pre-launch or a test launch with a smaller group, and then do a much fuller launch in January when the other course that I'm taking, the coaching certification training, launches, and use the new year as the launch pad for the full broader launch. Because I guess it would be some sort of a beta test for the Thriving Coaches, but there you could build a version that has like time delayed release of content and like a lot of the features that are going to be over and above what this current version has.
And based on what this woman is saying, there might be a different vision that, I mean, his team would have as to what goes in the app. Interesting.
So anyway, I feel pretty good about the concept and where it might be going. I did post a couple things or at least one thing I can't even remember now, in the Trello board.
Let's take a look. Want to share?
You want me to share, or do you want to share?
Share.
Okay. Sharing away. So it was this one. So I was thinking over the weekend again about Miguel's idea for a video. So I came up with this. So this is your homework assignment, because you have the ideal scenario at home.
Okay.
So scene 1, kid picks a book from a shelf. Scene 2, over the shoulder of the mom, the kid sitting on the mom's lap, holding the book, finds the same book on the app. Scene 3, a close-up of the app, picking the narrator of the book. Scene 4, front view, child on mom's lap, holding the book, phone on the table, emphasizing no screen time, listening to the app, focused on the book. Scene 5, closing, loved ones plus book plus audio equals story time.
Interesting how you have a storyboard right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, picking. Yeah, I can do that.
So
I think I can do that.
Yeah. So if you want to film those scenes, and then I can edit it together if you want. I don't know if you saw it. I did a new version. So when you talked about it only had grandma here.
Yeah.
So I added,
more grandmas and granddads.
Yeah, a mix of some people, some diversity. But because I was looking, who was I showing the site to? It might have been the lady that I was on the interview with on Wednesday. But I just realized again, like even the video that we have on the site now, it's a much more, I don't know, call it technical video in terms of how to use the app than it is explaining the concept.
Yeah.
So that's where I thought, and you have a very attractive family. So I thought, hey, good, excluding you, of course.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to do that. Don't worry. Yeah, I'm just.
I do it with my kids, but it would just seem creepy with me and Ian sitting on each other's laps.
Well, Misha's not sitting on lap. He's next to mom. But the thing is, what would be interesting is getting to shoot that, because I know what my wife's going to say. Oh, I need to do my hair. I need to do like. Okay, just do your hair, please.
Keep it real, man. Keep it real.
No, it doesn't. No, see, those kind of arguments do not work. But I'll do it. Yeah. I'll do it.
Cool.
You should have paid me on the weekend, because right now Misha's at camp. He's in camp, but I'll see if I can do this.
Yeah.
Picking up a book over the shoulder. Yeah. I think we might be able to find. Let's take a look. Oh, by the way, I know you. In terms of traffic to the site, 6 people a day, maybe.
Yeah. We had a few people requests for the group. I declined a bunch of them.
Yeah, I've been looking at them, and I was just like,
yeah.
You have not been on the website, because the website does not point you to the group. So you found the group by itself. You don't know what this is because you can't read the content. It's private.
Yeah.
Why are you asking to join?
Yeah.
And I think we might want to put some questions in there. Like when you join, there are questions. I was thinking about doing that. So at least you see what people are going to answer. Yeah.
Well, and I think that gets rid of bots or people that are just clicking on stuff.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that. It's at some point too. We'll see what happens, but you may even want to clean up the group, like reset the group. I don't know if what the rules are on Facebook, but I'm assuming you can just kick everybody out.
Yeah.
And if they want to rejoin and go through the new process, then I don't think it's even offside to say like you can only join the group if you've bought the app.
Yeah, that's we might. Oh, you know what? That's probably a good idea to say just in the description.
Because the whole point of it is creating a community for people that have bought the app.
Yeah. How do you settings?
And I'm going to follow up with my contact at McDonald's today because I never heard back from him. think you got a capital I in time there.
Yeah. Where are those questions? Okay, join the group. And when our son was born, one of the best quotes I found was when you have a baby, you have to get used to drinking cold coffee and warm beer. For some reason, this still continues. You can join only profiles. No. Member requests. 137 groups. Philippines.
Just decline everybody.
Yeah. Where was that? You could ask questions. Manage membership. Who can join the group? Profiles. Okay. Cancel. Cancel. Recommended group. I'm sure there was something to ask questions.
Mhm.
Group rules, member for content moderation, alerts, activity on quality, engagement. Oh boy. Comunique abri. Okay, that's crap. Yeah, I'll figure it out later.
All right.
So
I was thinking, should we create a new board for this onboarding thing?
I was thinking about that too. Yeah. I was thinking about that too, but then I thought to myself, hold on. Are we again putting the workflow ahead of the product, or
Well,
at least ahead of the sale?
Yeah. I mean, it's not to manage building anything at this point. It's just to have visibility to, I guess.
How do you flip between the boards?
To having an agenda and so on. Create a board.
So I found there's like there are HR tools galore. It's crazy. Yeah. Each one screams from the top of their lungs that they are by far the best in the industry.
Of course. So there, I just invited you to a new board. So is that what I don't even remember where we left off on Wednesday? Was it to do some research or?
Yeah, so we have a presentation going in Google Slides.
Yeah.
I think. Okay, here we go. I got notification, flawless onboarding. Ooh, what's with the cottages?
This is just the default image. I didn't do anything.
Wow. So Quite an interesting background. Oh, you bitches. What? Seriously?
What?
No, I'm just trying to understand how this work. There we go. So add a list. First list is resources, right? We had resources in the other one.
Yeah, we've got to do, in progress, for discussion, done, and resources,
Do
and parking lot.
in progress, done,
For discussion.
parking lot, and for discussion. To do, in progress, done, resources, parking lot. Wait, where did for discussion go? Oh, here we go. Resources, add a card. Presentation. Duck. And then, you know what? The one thing I have to say is over the last half a year, I've been quite impressed and understand how these sharing tools work.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that you and I have shared and worked on, because in the corporate environment, you never really get to see that. Because of all of the internal kind of locked down structure.
Yeah, well, when I did the product management stuff, we used Trello, and then we switched to Jira.
Mhm.
But I mean, it was good. Like I literally spent 75% of my time in Jira as the product manager.
Mhm. And this, what that gives you is,
well, it just gave me
like
visibility.
Jira is a different version of Trello, right?
Yeah,
More
yeah, it's very similar to Trello.
Okay.
But it just gives you. I mean, we had, I think at one point, 15 people on the team. So everyone's posting things, updating things. You can see where things are at.
Yep.
You're communicating like instead of messaging people. Well, I guess there was some messaging through Slack, but a lot of the messaging was just adding comments to cards and stuff in Jira, and that would trigger communications to people. Although I found it annoying, all the notifications. I ended up turning a lot of it off because I was getting like hundreds of Jira notifications to my email. But because you also, if you're active in Jira, you're getting notifications in Jira
as well.
So it was like duplication of communication. It was driving me nuts. I found with the agile process, like daily scrums, constantly being in Jira, it was like over communication. It's like, nobody, you spent way too much time telling everyone what it was you were going to do rather than just go and do it.
That's classic.
Yeah, it was frustrating.
Yeah, okay, done. So this card is done. Yes, we have a first card. So want to hear my observations?
I certainly do.
You know what? I have to say, this feels like coming back from a vacation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you come back from a vacation and everything that your mind is no longer racing, you're kind of calm and you don't want to get into any of this shit.
Yeah.
And you kind of like sit there. Yeah.
Great, but isn't it also great though that you're not coming back to like 300 emails and
yeah, that's true.
Meetings and people yelling at you. Like I used to joke that, how long would it take for my vacation to wear off? And most times it was less than an hour.
Half an hour.
Yeah.
It's time for you to get coffee in the morning when you're still relaxed, talk to a couple of people about when they're like, so how was it? And then you come back and you're like, oh shit, I'm in a meeting in half an hour. Fuck. That's it.
Mhm.
Memory of vacation is gone.
Yeah, and there was no, I don't know if respect is the right word, but there was no consideration for the fact that you've been gone for a week or 2 weeks, and
Yeah.
immediately people are asking you questions as if you knew what the hell was going on. Like I used to come in super early my first day back and spend the first hour or two just catching up before anyone else even came in.
See, I started taking my phone with me on vacation, knowing full well that it's a bad habit to have.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was like, you know what? What? It's like, no, you know what? I just can't handle it, because if I don't do that, then I hated coming back to that like massive inbox full of emails and having to clear them off on a Sunday, because I've got OCD. Like
Yeah.
I'm that person that never has unread emails in his inbox.
Yeah.
And
I'm
yet,
the
and yet I
exact opposite.
admire the, sorry?
I'm the exact opposite.
Yeah, and yet I admire the people who have the zen to have like 1,500 unopened emails. You're like,
Yeah,
I'm
that's what
okay.
I had.
I'm okay with that.
I would have like thousands of unread emails, and then eventually my PST file would get too big, and my email would crash, and I'd have to restart. People like, but aren't you upset you lost everything? No, I'm back to, I'm caught up now.
Oh, geez.
I used to do mass deletes like every now and then. This was back in the Loblaw days.
Yeah,
I just highlight anything older than like 6 months old, just delete. And then
yeah.
there's always people that had read receipts on things. And I end up having people come to my office and go, I just got a thing that you deleted my email from whatever months ago and you didn't even read it. I'm like, yeah, well, I guess it wasn't important because you know, that was 6 months ago. And you're just coming to me now to complain that you didn't get an answer, or you didn't get whatever. Like, if something's important, you'll come see me. And then they'd be mad. And go,
Well played. Well played.
I said, how can you afford to have read receipts on all your emails? And he's like, well, then I know whether people are reading it. I go, I can't even keep up with reading the actual email, let alone tracking read receipts. Like, clearly you're not very busy. And then they get mad at you again. I guess it wasn't somewhat insulting, but
Yeah, I think it might have been kind of like kind of defeats you. You were raving about at one point in time. You were raving about the fact, like, look, I sent you an email. Why didn't you even respond? Like, why even bother?
yeah.
And here you are admitting to doing the same thing. How ironic.
Well, because my emails are important. Come on.
Your emails are important. How do you switch between the boards? Oh yeah, here we go. Boards, flawless onboarding. Anyway, where were we? Where were we? We were here. Okay, share screen. See, this is my interpretation of the mountain that a new employee has to climb. First, you go through the forest, then you go through the valley of death and the river full of crocodiles. Then you climb the small hill and you think you're there, only to find out that there's a huge mountain ahead of it. If you get to the peak, good for you. Most people don't. That's where that takes about 2 to 3 years. That's when people quit. But so I Googled employee onboarding tools, and there's a lot to go through. There's a lot of rankings, and those rankings are created by the companies that build tools. So they kind of say like, yeah, look, there's 10 tools. We're number one, and here's why. Yeah. But then you go through something like this is also a tool, Typelane. And of course, they're number one. That's smart way to onboard talent. Now, when you start reading this, and I didn't even go to all of the features of every single tool. Trust me, I did not spend nearly enough time on this as I wanted to, because I wanted to put together a grid of like features and scale and cost. But then I found that would be futile. See, the thing is, all of these tools have a very different angle, but they all have an angle. So this one says, note the article, best employee onboarding tools. You would think that this would speak right to our competition, all the competitors we want to unseat. Look at the features. All-in-one onboarding platform for HR and team leads. Easy to use and implement, secure GDPR, smart workflows, modern, adaptable, intuitive portal. Let's take a look at TypeLink. Look at this. See, this is good. Automate the busy work, give everyone the same great experience. This is essentially, this is more than the list. This thing integrates into your process.
Yeah.
It has to work. See, it's like it has to go through everything. So it's when they create a card. Let me show you features. Where was that? Yeah, so it's when you create something, it ties into, it creates a function. So for example, you order a laptop, well, that goes into your system and then you order a laptop. And in theory, that's perfect. Look at this. Hi, manager, you'll get a new team member soon. Onboarding will join first day and as a work title. Nice, right?
Yeah. Contract
signed. Welcome on board. You're excited that you'll be joining. This makes so much sense. Your first day, 5 tasks. This is exactly what we want to do. Pricing per user. And let's see who their customers are. Seems like startups. Oh, except this one.
It seems very cheap to me.
Seems exceptionally cheap for what they're doing. Sweden, good for them. Oh, here's features. So this is the closest one, but then you get into stuff like ClickUp, project process and team management, team collaboration, Kanban style boards. That's more workflow.
Yeah.
Zenefits, human capital, hiring and self-onboarding, employee management. This is more HR system. Lesson Lead, capture and share work knowledge, create lessons with any content, automated learning path. Not the same thing. This is kind of like what, remember when you said about what you could do in the first 2 weeks?
Yeah.
What was interesting, and I didn't research this yet, but this I found, create lessons with any content. That would be very cool if you could turn a presentation into a lesson. Yeah. Or into what do we call it? What's it called?
Module.
Not case study, but something that well, yeah, kind of like a case study. When you can turn a work product into something that you can reshare and others could learn from.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it, but the idea is something appealing. Anyway, moving on. And that was it. Then you get like something like KissFlow.
Yeah.
But this is
so that was $40, 39 euros per employee.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like even a big company. I don't know. I'm just thinking like, well, if Pressimo wasn't a big company, but like we hired, over the 7 years that we were there, how many people do you think would have been hired?
200 easily.
Yeah. So I mean, that's
easily. That's not even backfilling people who left.
Yeah. But it doesn't add up to a lot of money, is what I'm getting at.
No, it doesn't. Well, even 70 euros. So 70 euros is roughly what, 100 Canadian dollars, maybe slightly more.
Yeah.
So that's 100 times. It's what, $20,000 for 200 employees.
Yeah.
That's not a lot. That's not even the salary of one developer.
No.
And that's imagine how many companies you need.
Yeah.
What the hell is cross-boarding?
Cross-boarding might be like
Between teams?
internal transfers, like they're not new to the company, they're just new to within the company to a new part. Bless you.
Thank you.
I mean, this is some good news, bad news, I guess.
Well, it's so it made me think of two things. One, it's okay. So 39 euros, let's say 50 bucks, arguably per employee. Is that a lot of money for a small company? Perhaps.
No,
Perhaps not.
it's peanuts, really. I mean, minimum wage is like 15 bucks an hour. So
Yeah, so 50 bucks is for a process for a single employee. That's not a lot.
it's nothing. It's no brainer. Like,
I wonder how they're doing. Let me see if I can find them in the news. Let's see funding. Oh wow, 10.5 million krona. Whatever that turns out to be in dollars.
$1.2 million.
Yeah, it would have been so helpful if they had decimals. That's it. 1.2 million is not a lot. That's two founding rounds. Yeah, so the first one was 2.5 million. No, the seed. Oh shit. The seed round was higher than venture round. Okay, 2.5 and 8 million. So they raised 1.5 million. People.
So here, do a quick math. It was 1 point, or said $1.2 million.
Mm-hmm.
We said what, $50 an employee. 24,000 employees.
Is that you need to onboard to
just to break even.
and that's without any ongoing expenses. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a lot of employees or a lot of companies. I mean, if
Yeah,
you,
unless their aim is to be acquired by some big like workspace, what's it, no,
a Workday,
workday, thank you. Yeah, and all of the, okay. Yeah, there's 1.1. In use by 20 customers. Sales of 150,000 in 2018. So 150,000 divided by, let's say, what is it? What's the what's 69, I think, euros. So let's say $100. So 1,500 employees that were onboarded using the system.
over 20 companies.
Yeah, divided by 20 companies. So that's an average 75 employees. Yeah, so that's from a scale perspective, this only works if you're able to get into the company that hires. There are not many companies that hire like a 200 employees a year.
No. No. Unless you're into like the big banks and stuff.
I was thinking of that. Yeah, I was thinking that you have to have like, yeah, Royal Bank has 80,000 people. So you need a company over 10,000 employees.
Yeah.
And if you're what's the rotation attrition rate? No, it's, what's it called?
Retention.
No, what, how many people leave versus
Turnover.
oh,
Turnover.
turnover rate, right? So that, yeah, even if it's 5%, which is arguably somewhere in the average, right?
Yeah.
5% of 10, that's a 500 employees.
Yeah, like even at Royal Bank, if they turned over 5%, that's 4,000 employees
Yeah,
a year.
yeah.
And at $100, I don't know, it's
400,000.
400,000 in revenue. And whatever the ongoing expenses and stuff would be for that company. I don't know how this company's gonna make any money.
That's, yeah.
Unless that price is just like the bare bones thing, and then all those other steps you talked about, if that's additional pricing, I don't know.
No, not really. I mean, there's an enterprise version pricing here. Look, oh, sorry, I'm not sharing. So enterprise, the one that segments users and groups, integrates with over 2,000 apps, embedded in messaging, priority support, dedicated account manager. That's tailored, but tailored usually means that the price goes down with the scale.
Yeah.
So standard is 69 euros. So this might be like 50 euros. Okay, so this presents a very interesting question. Oh. How do you make money?
Exactly.
So small guys would not have enough volume of transactions to make a living. Larger guys would demand higher security, which means you have to have a proper group of people in the back end. This is the one thing. It's like even if you make 400,000 off the largest employer in Canada, which is I think Royal Bank,
Yeah.
or one of the two largest employers in Canada, if you make 400,000, just in an average salary of a okay developer, okay architect is 100K, which we know it's not.
Yeah.
Which we know it's north of 150. That just buys you 2.5 people.
Yeah.
So shit. We stepped on scalability problem. Let's build an app for all of the people who are unemployed.
Yeah.
There was a post.
I've got one. It's called Interview Simulator.
Actually, some of a lot of the questions were really good.
Yeah. Oh, you went through it? You went through some of it?
Yeah, I went through first. One thing I did not realize is that when the first group of questions finish, you can press the next lesson.
Yeah.
And I got stuck on it for a while. I was just like, this can't be it. Like, I mean, Greg talked about that he put together like a whole thing.
Yeah.
And then I discovered where the next button was. There were I have not faced many of them, but I found them to be very. It's like I would like to use some of those questions in an interview.
Yeah.
As an interviewer.
Yeah. Well, they're all kind of just restated questions from what I got from the agency that I was referred to from Loyalty One.
Yeah, but they make for a good conversation.
Yeah.
They make for actually a more insightful conversation than like, I mean, in the first one, when you go through like the basics, like tell me about yourself, like all of that stuff. Yeah, so that's always present. But then the second and I think the third lesson, not lesson, what do you call it? Modules?
Groups, yeah.
Groups of questions. Some interesting ones. How do you answer the questions about failure? Or how do you what's your greatest weakness? Like that to me sounds like a question which really never has a good answer.
Yeah.
Or I tend not to trust the answer that's given because you either have to be prepared, which means it's a canned answer, or you're not prepared, and then you kind of flounder around.
Yeah. What's funny, I used to, it's funny because the first job I got when I went to on-campus recruiting and got a job at Cargill, I didn't have really much work experience, but I coached our intramural hockey team.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a story about how I screwed up because I had two guys at the tryout that both had Canadians jerseys on. One of the guys was good and one of the guys was terrible. And somehow I mixed them up. So I phoned the guy. I had to cut a bunch of people from the team. So I phoned the guy who was good and told him he didn't make the team, and he yelled at me on the phone. He couldn't believe it. And then I phoned the other guy and told him he made the team, and he was happy, whatever. So then the first game comes, and this guy, Serge, he steps on the ice. And as soon as he skated away from the bench, I'm like, that's the wrong guy. Because he could barely skate. So he basically played one shift, and he came off, and I sat beside him on the bench, and I said, Serge, I've made a terrible mistake. He goes, yeah, I know. So that was his last game on the team. And then I phoned the other guy back and apologized to him and invited him to join the team again, which he did. But that was my go-to answer for like, name it, a failure or a time you screwed up and what do you do about it? And the lesson learned was, okay, like accept it and move on and own it and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I think I got the job because of that answer, because the guy that was interviewing me was a big sports guy.
Yeah.
And anyway, it was just one of those interesting kind of.
It is an interesting one. I was just like, oh shit, I should steal it. That's a great story. Only I've never skated. I never played hockey.
Yeah. My other go-to, my brother and I coached a women's softball team,
Of course you did.
and well, it was a friend of ours. The three of us coached it. It was his older sister's team, but it was all women. Like,
You
well, not
perv.
women, but like they were like, we would have been, I don't know, 20, 21, 22, something like that. So they were all
You
like
bastards.
our age up to 35 or something. But it was fun. I used to talk about how like there was all these cliques on the team, and infighting, people complaining about things, and how I coached them through different scenarios. Anyway, it was I never imagined that I would get like good stories from that experience for like work related stuff, but it was great.
Yeah. I actually have an interview today, so we'll see
Okay.
how that goes.
So here's the $1 million question: would you pay $19.99 for Interview Simulator?
$19.99 for an interview simulator?
For the what you went through, was that worth $20 too?
No,
What was it worth?
it's definitely worth $10.
Yeah.
But
Did you download any of the attachments?
That's an unfair question. I am answering you with full knowledge of what I went through.
Yeah.
See, that's the big difference. So here's the thing. The reason I wouldn't pay $20 is because I can find a lot of those questions not narrated, but I could find those questions in text form online.
Yeah.
So what am I paying the $20 for?
Well,
For the narration, for the male female voice?
Yeah, the narration, I mean, it's primarily for the narration. So the notion is that when you can sit there and read questions all day long, it's kind of the process of reading it, hearing it, and then answering.
See, but you don't sell it on that premise. What would be amazing and what would cost way more than $20 is if you broke down the question and you provided like a hypothetical answer, or what an interviewer would be looking for in that answer. So first of all, you're right. Like hearing the question being asked and then having a pause is fantastic. Although the pause is short.
Yeah. Well, you're supposed to pause. The thing comes up on the
Yes,
top.
I know. I said you're supposed to pause the video.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lazy as that. You know what, and I find myself not pausing and just listening through it is because probably I'm used to consuming content.
Yeah.
So this was it wasn't an interactive thing. I was consuming content. It's just like, okay, played through. Okay, great. Next question.
Yeah.
How would I answer that? Okay, and then the male version would come on. I was like, yeah. So I would say. But imagine if you had a pause and then you broke down the question and you answered, like you told this story.
Yeah.
Now that's a freaking powerful thing because you're right. I'm right. You can find those questions online.
Yeah.
But they don't add to your understanding of what is it exactly you're being tested, or what is it what qualities are you trying to portray? Like, because everyone who's asking this question is going to have a different things that they're looking for. But to illuminate the fact that, you know what, every time somebody asks you a question is a chance for you, the interviewee, to sell yourself. So what are you selling in this question? Yeah. Like in your question is humility, being able to recognize your mistake, and having the getting over that hugely uncomfortable feeling when you have to apologize and go with your like hat in hand to the person and say, look, I've been a complete idiot, and also hoping that that person is not going to be a dick about this and will accept your apology. But to break it down like that is like, shit, I get it.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I mean, I got to take the dog out for a second. Like when you go to the course, they give you the questions. I guess if you ask them specific things, they'll give you answers, but they don't really coach you on answering either. Like this is the thing, like everything that's in there, like I know like $20 isn't a lot, but Loyalty One's paying those people like
thousands
of dollars.
I know. It's the same experience I had with Royal Bank. They give me all that. Remember, I gave you a list of questions.
Yeah.
There was no help.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, we're gonna coach you through your resume. Okay, fantastic. I'm all for it. Well, what's your resume like? Okay. Here, maybe you could put like bullet points here and paragraphs.
It was shit.
That's your level of wisdom.
Yeah. I know.
No, I agree with you, Greg. Offboarding programs are the worst.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do an offboarding app.
Maybe.
No.
All right, I got to run, but
we're not walking away with anything tangible today. But
well, I think a little more research is
warranted.
Before we do anything.
Okay.
And film your story time commercial.
I will, but that'll have to wait until at least 4 p.m. today.
All right.
Okay. Bye.